Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Batman Arkham Knight video. And in today's video, I'm going to show you the locations of all the missing firefighters in the Line of Duty side quest. The very first one is actually really easy, because the game will give you a waypointer telling you where to go. It's located here, in case you're wondering, but once you rescue the very first firefighter, the rest is up to you. The other ones will only show up if you are within range, and usually if you have detective mode on to see the group of enemies holding them hostage. So that is where this video comes in, and the best way to follow this guide is to pay attention to the map locations, fly there yourself, turn on detective mode, and most of them are really easy to see. They're usually just groups of enemies surrounding an innocent person. However, there are a couple of tricky ones which I'll talk about when we get to them. The next one we're going after is on the east side of Bleak Island. If you go over to where the docks are, climb up on that crane, and look over there by the pier, you'll see a group of enemies. If you turn your X-ray vision on, as mentioned, it makes it a lot easier, and then the game will actually plot a waypoint for you. Take them out, and that is your next firefighter.
Help me!
Then for the next one, we're going back over to the west side of Bleak Island. This one's actually very near the first one. Fly down the side here, drop down, and there's a small group of enemies. Then if you go a little bit south from the one we were just at, this one is near Chinatown, you'll find this group of enemies on the top floor or the kind of terrace on this building. Drop in from the top, take them out, and these ones again don't present too much of a challenge. Then if you go even further south, still on Bleak Island this time, go all the way down to the shoreline, down to the corner, and you'll see a massive group of enemies there. Again, these ones aren't too difficult, there's a couple of gunmen there, but aside from that, they don't present too much of a challenge. If you then go east from that location, again on Bleak Island, over by the docks, right down by the corner, there's another big group of enemies there.
He just puts on that accent to sound. Batman's here! Hurry! There could be more on the way!
The next one is actually in between Bleak Island and Miyagani Island on the foot of the bridge. Set the waypointer for the bottom of the bridge, fly down there, and you'll see a small group of enemies right down there. Quite a few of them do have guns, so do be careful, but again, they're not too difficult. Then the next one is around the middle of Miyagani Island. For this one, you're going to want to go and fly towards one of the high-rise buildings, and then when you have your X-ray vision on, you should see a group of enemies down below. Drop down there into the corner, and you can then fight them from there, and that will be your next firefighter.
Help me!
For the next one, you want to go a little bit southeast from that original location, and this one is a little bit tricky. This one you'll land at the top of this kind of train track, and you'll see them down below. However, there are quite a few sentry turrets. So what you're going to want to do for this one is get out your remote hacking device, and you can disable one of the turrets. Disable the one in the middle, because that's the one that actually points towards the hostage and towards the enemies, and you can then drop down, dismantle it, take out the enemies, and then rescue the firefighter. Then for the next one, if you go to the far southeast of Miyagani Island, this one is on the corner by Wayne Tower. Again, fly down and there's a massive group of enemies down there, take them out, and then you're good to go.
It's Batman!
Then for the remaining firefighters, we're going to go over to Founders Island. Firstly, you want to go down to Port Adams, right at the south of the island, and then you'll find the firefighter and all the guards in the middle of this building. There's 3 guards inside and a few outside you'll also have to deal with. Once you've taken them out, you're free to rescue the hostage.
You're immune to my toxin, Ivy. When I fucking you, I'm afraid.
Then for the next one, you want to go north from that location, up to the area just below where the blimps are, and again, hanging around by the shoreline are another group of enemies.
Hey, go easy.
This next one is a little bit tricky to get to. If you go east from the location we were just at, you're then going to want to fly down to the bottom level, down to the street, and you then want to look for a manhole cover like this one. If you then drop down there, it will let you drop down to the lower level, and you can drop down below the road, and it's at this point you'll then be on the same level as the enemies holding the hostage. However, at this current moment in time, you still can't get in there. At this point, you then want to go and switch to your Batmobile, drive it down to your location, and use the winch to pull down the wall. Once you've done that, you can then jump up, go through the door, and in that room is a large collection of enemies. Now this room is a little bit tough because there are a hell of a lot of enemies there, and there are a couple of big strong guys, but again, if you can time it right and you have some decent defense, then you should be alright. The next one is also very close to the previous location. Go a little bit south, and this time you'll find the enemies on one of the train platforms. You'll find this sort of intersection where the rail tracks go through. If you drop down there, you'll find the enemies, and again, clear them out, and that is your next firefighter. And then for the penultimate one, you have to do this one first before you can get to the last one, which is the Chief. This one is at the far north side of the island. I'd recommend the very first thing you do is go all the way over to the lighthouse and take out the sniper. And also bear in mind that one of the enemies down here does have a jammer, so if you turn on detective mode, you won't actually be able to see anything. So fly down, take them all out, and again, you can get the next firefighter.
No one's gonna know who the hell you are when we're finished. Make sure we leave a name. Help me, Batman!
Then once you've rescued that final one, if you go a little bit south from there, this is the location of the Chief, who is the very final firefighter that you need to rescue. You're then going to want to work up here, and there are quite a lot of enemies this time. But the best way to deal with this is actually stealth. I went around taking pretty much all of them out without being seen, then I got caught on the last few ones, but either way, once you take them out, that is the Chief done, and that is all of the firefighters found from Station 17. And for all your hard work, you get a grand total of 18 upgrade points, and you get an achievement. And that, my friends, is it. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys do have any questions, but aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.